Hello guys, in today's video, I know, another stamp. People are like, oh gosh, Alyssa Grace, she's doing another stamp. aka Alyssa the Cat. She's doing another stamp. I might make this into a whole another series, Alyssa the Cat rants and stuff like that. Because I've been doing many of these for a reason, just because you get the opinions out there because they're rare and they're just not really known much. So yeah, I'm gonna read the stamp and see. This one's talking about how every fan has within their right to dislike an Archie song. And I do agree, but I'm gonna read the stamp and see what it says. And this, as you can see, is the same exact person who talked about their opinion on the fan fiction of Song abusing Amy, which I feel like is just, I really like that he or she did this. I think it's a female that's doing these. I don't know. But I'm not going to just define gender. But yeah, congrats to you. I really appreciate the work you have done. So, yeah, let's look at this. Let's read this. I have the right to dislike the Archie Sonic comics for as long as I want in whichever way I want to without being told my fundamentally wrong for doing so or being mobbed left, right, and center for it. Now, for me, I used to really hate Archie Sonic because of the whole Sonali thing that was going on in the pre-boot, and I thought that Sonali was not getting reboot, but my dumb self did not do research. That's the kid, that's the type of person I was. When I was a fan brat, I didn't do research on it, and I found out, come to find out, Archie Comics more in 2020, last year, it got rebooted. I was like, thank God. But I don't hate Sally anymore like I used to. She's a pretty cool character. I'm just not a fan of her, but she's pretty cool. So, yeah. From hating Sally to being neutral about her, and now I like her, but I'm just not a fan of her. So, yeah, she's pretty cool. I feel like she doesn't deserve hate. I've done like 2 or maybe possibly a 3rd video on defending Sally Acorn. You can check out those videos where I'm defending Sally Acorn. So, yeah, you can check those out if you're interested. But let's continue reading this. Now, before I continue, I do want to say I'm pretty neutral about the Sonic Archie comics. If you want my honest opinion, I'm pretty neutral about them. I don't hate or dislike them anymore, but I will say I don't really care so much for the pre-boot. I like the reboot better, so I'm pretty neutral. I just don't know if I like or dislike the Sonic Archie comics, but I know for a fact I used to really hate them. But anyway, let's continue reading this. If you have the right to exclude don't know how to pronounce that, and love something, then that goes for the exact opposite as well. It works both ways. Saying otherwise is indicative of a positivity or negativity bias and an attempt to stifle contrasting views. I have the right to dislike the writing and call it out for the shit it pulls off, as well as the way it frequently derails characters' personalities for the sake of cheap plot points and for obviously biased author preferences or cheap death sheets for drama. I also have the right to dislike its art, especially the art in earlier issues that were a result of artists doing whatever the hell they wanted to without regard to established character design and a sense of consistency. Now, I do want to say the art surrounding Sally Acorn when her boobs, I'm sorry to say boobs, but her chests were detailed. Her chests were like detailed, or breasts, whatever you want to call them. There's different words for it, but her breasts were like detailed around the time of the pre-boot of the Archie comics. There's a time where she kind of looks like a deer and a chipmunk at the same time. I couldn't describe it, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about, where she had the spaghetti hair. It's kind of on the covers, like, that's in comparison to, like, the time when Sally slapped Sonic in the face. When the Archie book cover, she looked like that, and her breasts were, like, detailed. I didn't like that. And she had, like, spaghetti hair. She looked weird, but I wouldn't say she looked ugly. She just looked weird. She looked like a combination of a deer and a chipmunk. I couldn't describe it, but I didn't really like that art style much. I couldn't really have any, I couldn't really have appreciation for it. I forgot the artist who made that art. It wasn't really bad. It just looked weird. And Sally was so tall and stuff. I didn't like it. They're not doing independent work that calls for their personal preferences. They're drawing for an established franchise and a company that have given them the personality to portray their characters correctly with a distinct and self-in-stone art style. Nothing wrong with being a bit loose and quirky, but when you see the stuff like this, and there's a link right there, there's probably an example of the artwork. If you guys want to check this out, just search up any fan has a right to dislike Archie Sonic, and you'll see this DeviantArt post, and you can just press that link, but I'm not going to do that in this video. Then it looks freaking terrible, and it gives the series, even as a whole, a bad image. I have the right to expect the comic to involve the characters it should theoretically revolve around, instead of them being given the shaft in order to foist some annoying new character or creator's darling into the limelight leech established character roles. I have the right to dislike its characters too, such as the so fucking terrible at being a parody of Recolor's Scourge, and or the ways it portrays characters like Sally's morphing into a Mary Sue, and blatant favoritism of her, and extent of the mutilation of Sonic's character. Now, there was favoritism shown to Sally Acorn in the preview. I could see that around the time Sonali was happening. And Sonic was breaking up with these girls. Like, for example, he wasn't really around, like, Mina Mungoose and stuff like that. Instead, like, choosing Sally Acorn. They were, like, dating around the time when Mina had feelings for him. If I were to ship, like, Archie characters, like, be like a fan of Archie Sonic comics, I could see Mina and Sonic together. I don't really ship them, but for some reason, I could really see them together. Mina seems like a better love interest for Sonic than Sally, you know. I feel like that would have worked out better. Although I do ship Sonic, I don't ship it in Archie, you know. So I felt like Mina would have worked better, but I felt like Sonic's character was mutilated. It really was. But I wouldn't say Sally was a Mary Sue. But I do want to say Sonic's free spirit adventure will live on. You know, his personality, free spirit and stuff, it will live on. And I just feel like Archie ruined that. And people want to make this excuse and say, well, Sonic grew older. It's a whole another version of Sonic. I can understand why people say it's another version of Sonic. Like, I forgot the guy's name. Kenix Fox? I forgot. I'm sorry for pronouncing your channel wrong if I did. I do understand your point by saying it's another version of Sonic. But, you know, that's just the Sonic I grew up around. I just feel like Sonic is better off free-spirited instead of being all romantic and like a ladies' man. That's just not how Sonic is. So that's just my point of view. If you guys just don't understand it, that's just my opinion. But I just felt like Sonic's character really was mutilated. And I feel like it was wrong. Let's keep reading. I don't appreciate being categorized as some mindless Archie Sonic hater and bandwagoner who dislikes the comics purely because I like the games, and my reasons for disliking the comics being regarded as fickle and stupid when they're well-founded and credible. Now, I do like the games better than the comics because I feel like it's a better storyline, but that's just my opinion. I do feel like there was some awesome stuff that happened in the comics, but at the same time, as y'all know, I'm just not a fan of the comics. But for the people who like the Archie Sonic comics, I respect your opinion. I really do. FYI, I garnered my dislike for these comics from extensive reading of them, including myself fully into the comics world and its characters. Archie Sonic has had its awesome moments, but such moments are few and far between. The comic is bogged down throughout its run by bad writing, annoying, awful characters, terrible art, and a very pretentious tone consistent throughout. Now, like I said before, I used to hate the Sonic Archie comics, Archie Sonic himself. I didn't really care about his pre-boot self. You know, Sonic was not really, his reboot self was definitely like Sonic being himself, but like pre-boot Sonic being like it's all ladies, man, and stuff, flirting with different girls, kissing girls like Amy, Bunny, yeah, I'm talking here, Bunny, stuff like that, having all different love interests in the comics. He even went with Fiona Fox, which is a horrible love interest. You guys know I really hate Sonali, but I'd rather ship that than Sonic with Fiona, because that was horrible. Breaking Tails and Sonic's friendship, that was bad. But yeah, I don't really care about his pre-boot version, but reboot is fine. But I do respect this person for making this snap. I just feel like it has to be known. Everyone has the right to dislike Archie Sonic, no matter what others say. You fans who have nostalgia really need to stop, just judging others just because they may not like the Archie Sonic comics. You want the Archie characters to come back. I do respect that, but just understand there are certain people who just don't like the Archie Song comics. And you just have to respect that. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I love y'all so much. And I love you all, you cat lovers. Peace.